Well, the secret of painting this type of northern lights is simply by using two different supplies. Now, Bob Ross always used the fan brush and the 1-inch landscape brush to do his painting, but I'm just going to do something a little bit different, and I'll show you what I did here. Well, the very first thing I did was just take a little of my clear oil medium, just dip my blue shop towel into it, and I'm just covering my whole canvas with oil, clear oil medium. Make sure you get a nice thin even coat all the way around. Okay, next thing I want to do is grab my 1-inch landscape brush, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to start out with just a little bit of Indian yellow. Now you won't be able to see this very well, but it is going to be on here. And this looks kind of greenish right now when I first put it on, but it'll change. So I'm just adding some of this here. And let's go into some alizarin. I didn't clean the brush, just going straight into some alizarin. Let's go on the other side here, and I'm doing about 1/3 of the canvas, both up and down. And I'm going to actually go across a little bit in here, just to just kind of blend out those two colors there. I actually want to just kind of just wipe the brush off just to get a bulk of that color off. I want to go into, let's do the phthalo green first. Just go into phthalo green, and let's go right up above here. Maybe we'll just do this whole area right in through here. And just kind of wipe the brush off just a slight bit on your paper towel. And let's go into phthalo blue. Beautiful color phthalo blue is. And I'm just going to cover this whole side on this side here. And come down into this alizarin just a little bit. And then for the bottom, let's just go into alizarin, phthalo blue, maybe a touch of green, and let's just go all across the whole bottom here. Now I know, like I said, you won't be able to see this, but it will materialize as we go along. Okay, I'm going to set that brush aside. Okay, now again, with a clean 3/4 inch floral brush, what I want to do is start working on the cloud area. So I'm going to go into a little bit of white, just pure to titanium white. And let's start out in the yellow area, since that's the lightest color. And I'm just going to start blending, just kind of, I want this to be almost cloud-like. And so I'm just kind of swirling around. You can go up into the sky here a little bit, and down in this area. And if you get stuff on your brush, go ahead and wipe it off. I want to make sure that that is fairly clean. My brush stays fairly clean. I want to go into a little more white in this area right here. This would be my brightest color right in through here. Wipe that off. Now go into some more pure white. Let's go into the other side here. The alizarin. Ooh, pretty. I like that. And I'm just sort of mesmerizing and blending these two in here together. Wipe that brush off. Add a little more white in here. Yeah, that's nice. Also, let's go into a little more white here. And let's just kind of make kind of like a little streak in here. So it's just covering the canvas just a slight bit. Wipe that off. Let's go into a little more. Let's go over to this side here. Maybe we'll have a streak through here. Oh, those are pretty colors, aren't they? Let's do a hair more right here, just a little more white. Yeah, that's nice. This is a blender brush. It's the Bob Ross blender brush, the 2-inch. Don't really care for this brush because it is so thick and so wide. I really like my little brush, but if I do a Bob Ross video, I'm not allowed to use any other brushes but their equipment. So with this big brush, let's just go ahead and start here in the light color. Just lightly, lightly blending this in together. Just lightly. And let's go over to this side. And up here. And over here. And let's just keep going. So I just don't want any big, brilliant, bright lights. Just want this nice and smooth and pretty. Now I'm actually going to slip into a 1/2-inch floral brush. This is a natural bristle brush. These are wonderful brushes. And what I want to do is start out with the actual Northern Lights. And so, like I said, Bob usually uses a fan brush for this, and you can. Maybe I'll do a fan brush for part of it and then this brush for the other part. But what I want to do, load this brush. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth so that paint goes between the bristles. And I'm going to start out, let's, you know, you can make the Northern Lights any way you want them. They don't have to be any particular way, but let's just go ahead and bring something out here. I'm going to switch to a floral brush, and this is a number 12 floral brush, also a natural bristle brush. And what I want to do is just start blending this out. Now, okay, I started this way. I changed my mind. I want to blend out this way. So I'm going to change my streaks. You might be able to see my hand a little bit better this way. I'm not sure. We'll find out as we go along. Anyway, this is a really soft brush. So it blends out very nicely. Just going to go right down there. I'm going to grab some more paint here. Let's just make this a little bit brighter here. I'm just going to be working back and forth with these two brushes now. So you can make the degree of lightness that you want. Just make sure you keep wiping the brush in between. And I'm going to just blend out this bottom. Okay, let's do another one. More white. Let's bring something that comes out this way. And again, we're going to blend. This can just go blend right down into nothing. I'll just take more white, any area that I want to brighten. And I think we'll even just bring a little one here, just for the fun of it. And then also, let's see, if you wanted to use the fan brush instead, same thing, you just go and load both sides of the brush. And let's see, where would we like this one? We could just make this one just coming out here. Doesn't have to tie into anything. See, I'm just wiggling back and forth. I want to make this as soft as possible. This idea actually came from a channel, a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel's name is Chopper Rick. Now, Chopper Rick is a fairly new artist, but I'll tell you, I think he's quite good. And I really liked his idea. Unfortunately, I couldn't see what his hand was doing in the video, so I just kind of had to ad lib and kind of make up my own thing as I went along here. And so this is what I came up with, using these types of brushes to get that soft effect. I really liked what he did. I wish I could have seen it just a teeny bit better. But anyway, well, this works out fine too. So you see the difference between this brush over here and the fan brush here. The fan brush is kind of more jerky, but I don't know, some people like that. So let's go ahead, and I want to just lighten some of these areas. Let's just lighten this right in here and right here. Notice my slant, I'm always slanting this way. And you can make this as soft or as bright as you like. And let's do another one. Let me wipe this brush off here. Okay, let's do another one. Let's go coming right off here. See, the Northern Lights is so cool because they just, I tell you, there's no end to the shapes and the colors. Mostly it's green. The Northern Lights are mostly that bluish green color, phthalo bluish greenish, or even kind of a sap green really. But there's just no end to the colors that you can produce in the Northern Lights. Let's do this right here, heavier. And maybe this right here. And be sure and wipe that brush off. It's funny, it's working, it's strange to be working with this angle. Usually I make my angles this way because I don't know, for some reason it just seems more natural to me. But doing this way is a little bit different. But I like it. Well, you can just play with this to any degree that you like, and just go ahead and just make any shapes or anything that you like. And I think right in here, I like this. Because every once in a while you'll see a sharp line. That looks very cool. What do you think? Like it? I think it's very nice. Let's do a little bit of a sharp line over here. And you kind of want these to run off the canvas a little bit also. There. So now I want to do some mountains, and so I was just playing with sketches. I sketched out a mountain. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on here or not, but we'll see what happens. I'll give it a whirl. So for this one, I'm using this is a wildlife brush. It's a number, it's called a wildlife finisher, number 8 wildlife finisher. It's a synthetic brush. And you can use any synthetic. You can use any brushes for these paints, for this painting. You don't have to use just what I'm using. But this one is a synthetic, so any synthetic that you have, it would probably be about a 3/8 inch or a 5/8, no, 3/8 inch brush. Let's go ahead and make a mountain color. So for that, let's do some alizarin. This is mountain color, very dark, and a lot of blue. So let's go with that. Maybe some more alizarin. That'll give it kind of a purplish tone. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to put this, let's have one larger mountain here. And I'm quite a ways down. And just filling in. Actually, a little more crimson, I think. And a little more. Let's have one coming off here. Like so. And a little bit more. Maybe we'll have some small one here. I'm just doing this with brush this time. I'm not doing a palette knife. And just blend this out through the bottom here. Yeah. And let's see, just fill this in. Not quite sure I like this one here. There, that's probably better. So I think for this, I think I'll have my light coming in through this way because it, I think there would be maybe, well, it's hard to say where the light is actually coming from. It's kind of coming from both directions. And I'm going to go into some white. Now I have enough paint on this brush that is going to make this color not a pure white, but off-white. There, okay, that should be good. I'm going to leave my shadow side natural. I'm not going to do anything with that. All I want to do is highlight this side. And just sort of blend that in. Let's get a little more paint. Let's go in here. How about some here? Okay. And through here. A little more paint. How about some through here? Now I want to go into some pure white. Be sure and wipe that brush with every load. Wipe the brush off because it's picking up the dark. You don't want it to pick up the dark. And let's do a little bit here. I want more of this color right now. Let's do right there. Interesting. We might even bring one here. And just blend out wherever you think it needs blending. Stand back and look at it every once in a while. I'm standing way back, and I think that probably is looking pretty good. Maybe just refining this little tip here. Okay, and then next I want to take my palette knife. Got the small number 5 palette knife, and I'm just going to get a bunch of blue, green, alizarin, just dark colors. And we can actually add yellow in here too. And I had white on my fan brush because I was doing the sky, so I'm just going to just wipe off the white. I want to go in and load both sides of the brush. Probably some darker color here. I love doing the northern lights. You know, they're probably one of my very favorite things to do. Okay, so I want these trees to be a little bit closer, so they'll be just a little higher than the mountain. So this first one, let's just put in here. This time I'm doing up trees. I have to hold this steady here. I'm going to come right down into this area here. Now I'm going to have a little snow down here. Oh, I like that. Okay. I want to do one large one on the other side also. But this one maybe we'll have in a little bit. Still fairly high though. And I've done, so many tree videos, tutorials for you, so I'm not going to describe every little step that I'm doing here because I think you can probably pretty much see it. This needs to be darker right here, because it picked up a little bit of that snow color, and also it needs more warm. Let's also have one. I'm going to take my remove my glasses here. Let's do one over here. This is just an eye stopper. Yeah, good. Let's do another one. Maybe a small one right here, because see there's a little gap right here. That would be a good place for a small one. And what about this other side? Let's do another one right here. Doesn't that tree show up nice against that dark, or that yellow? That is pretty. Okay, and let's have a couple just suggestions here. Like there's trees with no branches on them. Maybe just a little bit of stubble. So now I want to come back into this with a 3/4 inch floral brush, and we're going to do some snow. And so let's just grab a little bit of white here. Maybe not pure white, we'll just off color it just a slight bit. And let's come right down here. Is there a little more here? Maybe off here. And maybe some, we need to have some, let's do right here. Let these corners get darker. There. I want to actually make this look more, I'm going into the dark now. This more to look like a path here, like it's coming way out here and then maybe over this way. Dark. Highlight just a little bit of the snow in a couple of areas here. Maybe right here. We'll just go ahead and just lightly just go across. If you want, you could add water here. You could add a path if you wanted. I wonder if I added a little crimson and some yellow. That'll make sort of a path color. We could just make sort of something in here. And if we added a little white to this, very little white. This is just a suggestion. Now I'm using a stylus to put stars in the sky, and I used a lighter blue to make a few faint ones in the background, and then just a couple of brighter ones that will show up a little bit more. And you can use anything with a point to make these stars. Once you have completed all the stars in your painting, I want you to stand back and take a good look at it. And then I want you to blend in any colors that you like to tie all the painting together, which is what I've done on this one. So thanks for joining me today. Here's another video that you might enjoy. See you next time. Bye-bye.